Like many industries, the global art market is currently in a slowdown. The high prices of a few years ago are not now being reached globally. One art fair is bucking the trend.
We make no exceptions with respect to the ambition and quality of art in the halls of our shows.
Art Basel is the most prestigious art fair in the world, and its CEO, Noah Horowitz, joins us now. Welcome, Noah.
Thank you, great to be here.
Please, very briefly, tell us about the history of Art Basel and how it has evolved, because it is not just another art fair.
Yeah, so we were founded in 1970 in Switzerland, and that's where we were for many years, and for many years it was really an industry affair. In 2002 we launched in Miami Beach, 2013 in Hong Kong, and we've just completed our first edition in the Grand Palais in Paris, which is now the fourth Art Basel show. So over that 50-year history, the business, art, contemporary art, and Art Basel, indeed at the very center of that, is really helped rewrite the landscape of the contemporary art map globally.
How do you feel you are maintaining the core value of the brand while going in such culturally diverse destinations?
Well, we've expanded very intentionally, I'd say. Our focus is always on the art. So as a business, we make no exceptions with respect to the ambition and quality of art in the halls of our shows and the programs that we create around that. But of course, it's also come from global expansion. Had we just stayed in Switzerland, I think things would have looked very different today. But moving into Miami Beach when we did nearly 25 years ago, expanding into Asia, has really helped transform the business, put Art Basel and our galleries and the artists in front of entirely new audiences, and really elevate the dialogue around contemporary art in a much more interesting way than one could have imagined otherwise.
So how does it happen? Does Art Basel choose its destinations, or do destinations choose Art Basel?
Well, we only have 4, and I'd say it's a little bit of both. But we have to think very thoughtfully. There's only so much blue chip art either in the secondary market or that's being made today in circulation at any moment in time. So as a business, we're not an infinitely scalable business platform. So we're very selective and intentional about where we are, and we want to make sure that the right art comes to our shows, but also that the right buyers, the right media, the right museums and curators and art-interested audiences show up, and that they show up in force.
From your experience, what does Art Basel do to those destinations? How do they change because of Art Basel?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic question, and Art Basel, uniquely really in our industry, has helped really regenerate cities and remap cultural ecosystems. In any given year in Miami, for example, hundreds of millions of dollars of economic impact are generated and flow through the city. It's a city that today sees itself as a city of culture, and much of that is to do with Art Basel. Switzerland itself, where our home is in Basel, the city is a city that punches far above its weight in terms of museums and cultural dialogue, and Art Basel's at the center of that. And even just last week in Paris, a city that's really the great cultural capital the world over, we can feel the impact of Art Basel when we show up, the vibrancy of the city, the ambition of exhibitions, and the attendance globally. Thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people attending the shows. It's extraordinary.
But do you feel your impact is beyond the art world? Do you feel that just citizens are becoming more interested in culture in general when Art Basel comes into town?
Absolutely, and that's, I think, the great gift, right? That's the most important thing. It's not that we've gone from being just a driver of commerce around art, but we've truly remapped local ecosystems. Our role in Hong Kong, for example, is extraordinary. The M+ Museum, which opened in the West Kowloon Cultural District a few years ago, in many ways would have not been possible without Art Basel having really set the agenda and created so much energy in the city. And now M+ is arguably the great contemporary art museum in the entire Asian diaspora. And so Art Basel has played a central role at that, but I think key there is allowing locals, the citizens themselves, local ecosystems, artists, art lovers to really engage around the platform.
How do you manage to maintain commercial success but balance it as well with contribution to the art world?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really about knowing your stakeholders. In our instance, our local partners in the cities themselves are extremely important. So really working hand in hand with cities, local cultural institutions to get the best out of each other, Our clients are incredibly important. Galleries, obviously, core amongst them. Art Basel was founded by gallerists. We're still a platform for gallerists, so we believe in the role of galleries as a vetting and as an enhancing mechanism for artists as they come through their careers. But again, it gets back to quality parameters. We're incredibly specific about the types of art that we present and the types of exhibitors there, and that spills over into all aspects of what we do, from the content we produce to the sponsors we bring on, and so on and so forth.
Speaking about galleries, there has been a lot of criticism about the inflated prices of modern art. How do you respond to that?
Art, it's always in the eye of the beholder, but I think again, when you buy from our galleries and you go on a journey with contemporary art, you're investing not just in a singular piece of art. Of course you are at some level, but you're also supporting the careers of artists. And there's a patronage element to it, which is incredibly important. And getting that right and really understanding the broad aspects of what your investment is going toward is incredibly important. There is a price, there is an investment as well in the object, and we understand all of that, but it's a broader trajectory that we're supporting as a business.
As we are surrounded with investors today, is art still a good investment?
It's a great investment, but of course it's a costly one, and people that are buying art from an investment standpoint need to be extremely aware of all the conditions around art. Art is extremely high transaction costs, so the price of buying and selling, storage, insurance, shipment, moving art around can be very expensive. So if your goal is an investment return, long-term investing is still the name of the game, and being very sober about what you're buying at the right price, buying the right work is important. But there are other dividends as well. There are cultural dividends, there are psychological dividends of owning and living art, and I think that's very important to underline as well in that journey.
What is your personal opinion about digital art and digital art fairs?
I mean, I'm extremely interested in digital art. I actually came to Art Basel originally from having directed and been part of 15 years ago now, the first ever online art fair. So I'm a full believer in the role of technology, the digital turn in our world, digitally native artists and creatives generally as a thing. It's something that's not yet fully manifest in our world. We're seeing galleries work with these artists. We're seeing museums create touch points. Certain artists are now building their own ecosystems, the Rafik Anadals and the Beeples of the world. And I think as Art Basel, we have to look at this very seriously and create bridges to these communities.
Do you see blockchains and NFTs a passing trend or something that will really dominate the art market in, let's say, the next 10 years?
It's hard to say dominate the art market, but I think that blockchain, NFT, the technology undergirding these systems is interesting and important. Up till now, time-based media art, film, video, digital art hasn't really had a platform like an NFT, which is essentially a contract, right, to exchange on it. I think somehow, some way, these are going to be important parts of our future, but the huge speculative bubble we saw during COVID around NFTs is something of the past as well.
So what's next for the art world and what's next for Art Basel?
Well, I think the global turn in the art world is something that continues to make its way. We're speaking in Riyadh, the global south, the Arabic art world. There's a lot happening now globally. We're seeing that. I've traveled to the region a lot recently. We're seeing Hong Kong come back. We're seeing interest in Paris in a totally different way, and we're incredibly excited about what June looks like for us in Basel, Switzerland as well. We see culture fundamentally as a unifying platform, and we see Art Basel continuing to play a super important role in shaping that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.